raiders running out into the middle of the map, but really that's a bad thing. Bad. In 2s, be careful of your TPs. That's always an important thing, because if you just TP to, like if your ally's base is under attack and you're in, like, the middle of the map and you're in a 1v1 battle against someone and you double-click your TP, obviously you just kind of screwed your ally and screwed yourself, because not only could you have possibly won the battle that you were fighting, but you could have also saved your ally. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Also, you don't want to trade one TP or 2 TPs for 1, so you really got to be careful with that. Right now, the NOA team should really not be, like, even close to that fountain. They should probably run across the map and try and get, like, a burrow kill, because this is really stupid. Reason being is that not only are both of the WE players, like, at 50 food, but they're also not facing the fountain, which is bad because you can actually micro units to the fountain, put them in, like, a neutral hotkey, like, I don't know, 0, and then bring them in later and really screw them over. One thing to also point out is that they went Tauren Chieftain second for the aura. I wouldn't recommend that. I really wouldn't. You get the same thing from War Drums. I mean, sure, you get the boosted movement speed as well, but you have speed scrolls for that. The damage output is negated by War Drums, so you can really easily not only counter, but you can also mix it up for that. Also, you don't want to get too many Spirit Walkers. You kind of want to focus on the whole Raider aspect. But if you go Tauren Chieftain, I just don't recommend it. Generally, you either want to go Naga or Shadowhunter second, just because not only are they ranged and they won't get picked off as easily, but you know, they're also a lot more useful because you can actually get hex kills. Healing wave is huge. If you go wards, those are awesome. Fork Lightning and Frost Arrows are amazing for picking off raiders and stuff. But yeah, this game's pretty much over. I would call it rape, but not many Dryads were lost, so yeah, that was kind of quick. Of course, the red team, or I don't know, I have to misread. The NOA team kind of lost a whole bunch of orc units, just from random crap happening in the middle. But whatever. Crap, I closed the folder. Get game 2 loaded up, 45-second mark as well. We're gonna do that now. But yeah, one good thing about you know, a good 2v2 team is that one of them will be able to play more than one race. Hopefully both of you will be able to play more than one race, so that you can use abuse tactics that pro 1v1 players have no idea how to counter. And this is an example of that, which I find hilarious. But yeah, stuff like that. What was I gonna say? For best of 3 matches, it's good that if you both know more than one race. For regular ladder, it really doesn't matter because it's not like you're going to be rematching them. So yeah, I thought I'd point that out. First game wasn't all that educational. It was just basically stupid stuff happening and a lot of positional work. But yeah, this game's good. Basically, this is how abuse tactics own good solo players, especially in 2s. So basically, if you play, like, even if you're up against a good solo team, if you play a whole bunch of, like, even if you are a good solo team, like, good solo players on a 2v2 team, let's use real words right now, basically, even, like, a week before a match, just mass up a whole bunch of ladder, and you'll get hit by, like, 6 or 7 abuse tactics. And basically, if they out-micro you in the solo battles and kind of get mini advantages that way and kind of exploit it, you can pretty much guarantee that abuse tactics are really going to kick their ass. So that's what happens in this game, which is funny. So let's get this unpaused from 45-second mark. And 3, 2, 1, unpause. So you'll notice the NOA team is both Night Elf, and what you're going to see is their base build's kind of going to wall off the bottom of their base, because obviously it's 2s, you want to gain as much base build as advantage as you can. Remind's kind of got, I don't know, his back open. It's kind of a bad thing, especially against a dual Night Elf team, because they're likely to go Glaives and Huntress and haul you. Yeah. I believe both of them... Oh, no, just one of them goes Priestess of the Moon. You can only get one True Shot Aura, so you might as well do what you can. But yeah, you will notice that the World Elite team is going with the Blade Master Demon Hunter combo. Obviously, they're not varying it up much, so... Yeah, they're going to get owned. Varying it up in 2s is huge, huge, huge. If you don't do it, you're going to get screwed by a good 2s team. So, thought you should know. But, yeah, what was I going to say? They're both doing Huntress builds, thought you should know. I don't know why, but the Huntress Hall and stuff is going to go up a little late. I think he wanted the earlier Moonwall or something, I don't know. But he's got a lot of lumber and he could have done something else with it. I'm talking about Shy. OG, I don't know. Well, they're both going dual Ancient of War, so I guess you kind of wait a little bit. But it's still good to get the earlier Ancient of War up, just so you can get it done. So, I forget what happens, but I believe the Priestess of the Moon gets chased around the map a whole bunch of times, and then the Blade Master... Or not the Blade Master, the Demon Hunters just kind of harass... Well... Yeah, that was really terribly worded, but you know what I mean. They were going to go harass each other, but basically what you want to do in 2s is you kind of want to get rid of the second Moonwell or something, just because if you get rid of the second Moonwell, you completely dominate them, just because they won't get a Huntress for like 3 hours. Like, even if you ignore the Demon Hunter and take a whole bunch of hits from trees and stuff, if you cancel their second Moonwell, you have a bigger advantage from even almost losing your hero. So, with the Priestess of the Moon, don't focus on the Blade Master. You're not going to get the kill. Focus on the grunts. Go after wisps if you can. Obviously, it's a lot easier to go up against the Night Elf, but if you're closer to the Orc, you do what you can to try and prevent wisp kills. Obviously, Lynn's trying to go for Moonwell snipes and wisp snipes, but obviously if they're not tagging, it really doesn't make as much of a difference. But, yeah. Such as life, don't chase the Demon Hunter way too far because you're really not going to do much damage, especially if you chase him this far and he has Moonwells and a Huntress. You're really not going to get the kill. Unless you get really lucky. I don't know. Good Wisp management is great against the Blade Master. You really want to pay attention to that. So sometimes a lot of people will wall off their base. Sometimes they won't, and they will just kind of move Wisps around. This is the part of the game where it starts to get cool. Priest of the Moon sells the TP, and guess what's going to happen? AP push. Because obviously they're both attacking, well, Remind's doing dual Ancient of War now, but he's got really late hunts. I mean, he's only got 2. And the other 2 players have 3, and more on the way, a lot quicker. Obviously, once again, second Moonwall kill, and I guess he didn't get... Remind didn't get his second Ancient of War up as early. But you will notice he's putting an Ancient Protector in his base, because obviously, if you do decent scouting, you're going to notice, OMG, they're both coming to my base, and obviously, if you're against dual Huntress, you're going to get AP pushed. So Huntress goes down. Brutal. This is why it sucks to have an Orc on your team against dual Night Elf, because they really can't do anything until Tier 2, unless they turtle in their own base. And if you push the Night Elf, get Glaives first. Don't get Hunters, get Glaives. Remind should be getting Glaives. Reason being is because you can put them behind your Ancient of War, and you can actually pick up a whole bunch of Hunters that way. And plus, if they're going to Ancient Protector push you, you can actually take them down. So yeah, once again, Orc kind of gets owned by Mass Hunters early game. So, you know, ownage. And this is where good 2s tactics come in handy. You'll notice Wisps coming down from the north, but there's also a couple Wisps near the Orc space. And those are going to turn into Ancient Protectors and kind of dual push them. So, basically, yeah. This game is just ownage, pretty much. You'll notice Remind has a lot of weak units, and there's really not much you can do about it, unless he hides, which really isn't going to do much, and, like, even if... Yeah, it's really not going to do much, especially when the Priest of the Moon hits level 2, which is going to happen pretty quickly, because you get the Owl Scout, which is great in 2s, highly underrated, but really,